YouTube Tuesday from Barnabas Junction, brought to you in association with the Model Railway YouTube Community Group, MRYCG, connecting the Model Railway community together. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Just search for MRYCG.
Good evening. Welcome to this week's episode of YouTube Tuesday with me, Jason, here at Barnabas Junction. Good evening to you all. Thank you for joining me. Just getting final setup stuff sorted out for the setup. There we go. Just sending that over. Right, I'm just mute that as well. Just sort that. Right, so. Right, let me just, what can I still hear? My phone helps if I turn my phone down, doesn't it? Right. So good evening to you all. Thank you for joining me today. We do know just kicking off at the same time as is the first of the semi-finals of the Euro. So yes, don't mind. Go and watch the football if you wish. Obviously, whoever wins tonight will be playing whoever wins tomorrow night. So I'll be certainly watching that. So good evening to every single one of you. Let's have a look at who's in the chat right now. Let me just bring that full screen. So we've got, scroll back to the beginning. Clive Cabald's in, Hemel Down Model Railway. David Cook is in. Good evening to you. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase is in. Good evening, Simon. I've just seen you posted actually a video earlier on. I've watched a little bit of it. I'm going to watch the rest of it shortly. Digger Evans is in. Good evening, Digger. Hope you're well. Dave Smith is in. Hello, Digger. Hope you are well also. And Mike Pringle's in. Crossways Point Junction's in. Flymo's in. Excellent stuff. Dinmore Junction is in. I don't know why my phone's not updated with the chat, so let me go back to it. There we go. So Matthew Whitmore is in. March West TMD is in. There we go. It's updated now. Who else have we got in? So already 24 in the stream. Great. Angel Shares in. Good evening, Brian. I hope you're all well. Matthew Whitmore. Yes, said hello to Matthew. So good evening to you all. Thanks for joining us this week. Now, first of all, before we do, we have to say the big thank you to everybody. So big thank you to all of our channel members supporting the channel in one way or another via channel memberships. If you want to become a channel member, link is in the description below. Please do if you wish. So big thank you to Train Freak, Owens Model Railways, Leicester Station and TMD, Building the ELR Step by Step, Simon's Trains Model Railways Showcase, Flint Hills, Geoff Hammond, Crossways Point Junction, Eagle Creek Yard, Darren Faulkner, Sparky, Donegal Dag, Mike Pringle, Dave Smith, Paul Sinek, Containerman 68, Hollybrook Junction, that's Al, the Growler of Blackwood Engage, Chris Jubb of Hernborough, New Durham Junction, Steve Lockhart of Route 7, Valley Brook, Charlie McGowan, John A. Dawson, Effingham, and Micro Scenics. All of you, fantastic stuff to be supporting the channel via channel membership. If you want to become a channel member and get access to a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and extra perks, including little emojis you can use during the live chat. I've not seen many of you that are channel members actually use those as such, but don't forget, if you are a channel member, you have access to some very special little icons that you can chat with. I've not seen anyone use them for a while, so and I have updated them as well. So yeah, great stuff. If you want to become a channel member, links in the description below on details of how you can join and become a member, supporting it all in its glory about what I do here. So who else we got? Northern Rails 44, hello to Craig. Melvin Fackler is in. Good evening. Sorry, I say morning. Good evening to everybody. Oh, my time's wrong. My times are so wrong. Bangor U Junction, Carl Braun is in. Thank you for joining us. He's saying hi, Jason, and all in one. I see Hattons are having a warehouse clearance. Are they? I didn't know. Simon, the railway enthusiast. Simon, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Everyone's still saying hello to one another. So great stuff indeed. Now, I have got a very special guest for you joining us this evening. He will be joining us very shortly. Dugmore Junction is in. Better check that out. There we go. Simon's having a play with some emojis, saying, "Oh, they look good." Yeah, wow, and oh my god, yeah, some great little emojis there. If you like them, post them away. That's accessed. Or is my Pringle just posting them all in? Mike. Yeah, so if you're a channel member, you get access to those little emojis to use during the stream. So great stuff. Lovely. Like it, Mike. And thank you very much, Simon, also. Geoff Readman, Jumble Lane Printing, also a moderator there. He's in the stream. Great stuff. CSX Rensville's in. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Right, so if you remember last week, we were looking at the church. I'm just going to switch over. So we were looking at the church. Let me just get the right camera. There we go. So we were looking at the church, and this is now how it looks. And this is now including some new gravestones. As you can see, we've got some new gravestones in here. We've got some with angels. We've got tombstones, as you can see here in front of the church. And that's because I had a special visitor just a couple of days ago. I was very, very pleased to see him. Not seen him for a very long time. And it was great to catch up and have a good chin wag about model railways and also MRYCG. And there'll be a little bit more about that also very shortly. So, yeah, these are the current new gravestones that Jumble Lane Printing has now got produced. As one, actually, you can't see that one. There's one there with the cross on the top, tombstone. These obviously are unpainted. Now, he did last week say to me, leave plenty of room for more gravestones. Well, I totally wasn't expecting the quantity of gravestones that he has left behind. I'll just switch the camera over because I'm thinking this, this churchyard needs to be made a lot bigger. So, I use these tubs, and this, look at all those in there. It is full of gravestones available at Jumble Lane Printing. Yes, it is Geoff Readman. Indeed, it is. And there must be at least 100 or more in there, at least 100 of all the different types of gravestones. Now, we'll be speaking with Geoff a little bit later on about all the kits that he has got produced, as well as some exclusive look at some of the new kits that he's got in the pipeline. And I've got a sample of one of those kits just behind me, my shoulder, just there, and we'll be taking it over to have a look at that very shortly. Dead exciting in the tub. Just looking at the chat now. The Tomb Fairy. Carl, you saying hello to Crossways, Angel Share. They look great. Nicely done, Geoff. Excellent. Is that the dead center of your layout, Jason? Says CSX. I would probably say so. It's dead center of this area of the layout, pretty much, anyway. So everyone's still saying hello to one another. And Matthew, I've got the new Avanti West Coast 390 from Hornby. Oh. I've not seen, well, I saw the prototype when it was first released, but I've not seen one proper released one yet, but I'm sure I will do in the coming few months, because we all know we're going to be able to get out and about. Exhibitions, etc., are all going to be on the cards in the coming months. Dave Smith said playing, oh my God, he's put hello to St. Mary's Church Model Railway. Good evening to you. Right, so before we bring the special guest in, I'm going to show you us a few other bits and bobs, but before we do, we're going to do the very, very first shout out of the day. And yes, I have already chosen the first shout out for today. He was one of the very first in the chat before we even went live. And that person, and if I just scroll back so I read the name properly, the channel name that is, where is it? Where's it gone? There he is. So first shout out today is Hemel Down Model Railway. You are tonight's first shout out, Hemel Down Model Railway. Now, I did have a look at the channel, and he does have some information on the channel. He's currently only on 43 subscribers. Would you believe it? This channel has only got 43 subscribers. I was stunned. It deserves a lot more. So come on. There's plenty of you here tonight. I'm sure there's a few of you that are not checked out this channel or subscribed to it. So please take a moment to check it out. It's a 00 gauge model railway, and it's based on LMS and LNER. It's also of steamer. It's created by a gentleman now the name of Mark, and you can join the channel and watch future uploads and follow my journey creating my layout. He says scratch building, layout building, scenics, loco repairs, finds on Fleabay, plus photos, videos, and will be uploaded of trips out for use to inspire your layout. And also things I can incorporate into designing my own layout. Comments and ideas are welcome as I progress with my journey of building a 00 gauge layout. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and share. So that is the first shout out for today. It is Hemel Down Model Railway. I'm sure my moderator, well, my absolutely fly on the wall, fly mode chairman will do his best to get a link. There it goes. A link is now posted. Please do check it out. He's on 43 subscribers. I would be really, really pleased if we can get him at least over the first milestone of 50 subscribers. So please do check it out. Great lad, Mark, and I'm sure he'll highly appreciate your subscription. Remember, when you do subscribe to a channel, you must interact with it in one way or another. So at least for the start, go and when you do subscribe, click the bell, select all for receiving all notifications of any channel that you do subscribe to, so you get notifications of like videos, uploads, blah, blah, blah. You know the rule, you know the rigmarole by now. And go and check out his latest video when you get the opportunity and mention that you are subscribing to him after hearing about him here on Barnabas Junction's YouTube Tuesday show. With me. And there he is, Hemel Day, saying, wow, thank you so much for the mention. You're very welcome, and it's fully deserved that for you to be the first shout out for today. Flymo, Simon saying to Flymo, how can you mod so quick? I've tried modding on Geoff's Trains live stream last week, and I tried to keep with the chat. I tell you what, Flymo is absolutely top notch and on the ball when it comes to moderating. And I tell you what, I don't even give him any pre-warning on what the shout-outs. I should do. And yeah, it's totally super fast. So well done, Flymo. Adam, you really do deserve a medal for what you do on this channel. You're absolutely spot on with your linking and stuff like that. Right, so I'm going to you've seen the gravestones. Now, you may have seen the thumbnail for tonight's show, and it did feature the pub. But if you were looking carefully, if you were looking very carefully, you'd have seen a few other little bits and bobs that have appeared around the pub. So I'm going to switch this camera around and start showing you what we've got to show you. And again, you're going to be quite surprised, because when Geoff was here, he brought these kits over, and I was like, oh, wow. So let me switch the camera around. Let's have a look. So we switch to that camera. Okay, so here we are now at the front of the pub. So it's pretty much the same position, just a bit higher up than we saw on the thumbnail. And straight away, you can't miss it. There are 3 kits in that one shot. So I'll just turn the camera a little bit. So there's one kit, which are the market stalls with the white tops. We've got the monument just in the middle there. That's another kit. And we've got pub benches with parasols in the front of the pub area. Now, I'm just going to lift the camera up, because that's not all you get in that parasol kit. You also get them as well. Open parasol for the tables. And that is starting to really set this off for the scene, or for this pub scene. I have been discussing with Geoff other kits, and I'm sure you'll hear about them coming very soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch the camera back to myself, and we're going to bring in our guest for this evening to discuss with us about these kits. And yes, it's none other than Geoff Readman of Jumble Lane Printing. Good evening, Geoff.
Good evening.
Just check we don't get any feedback. Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us, Geoff.
No problem.
Right, so these you did pay a visit here a few days ago, and we've had a lot of good chats about kits that you do produce, as well, new kits that might be coming in the future, and obviously a lot of the current kits, as well as the I'd say revamped some of some of your kits as well. And we had a good long chat, and you took quite a few photographs and stuff like that of your kits here on the layout. But we're displaying a few here on the layout just then. We're obviously talking about the gravestones, which is in version 2. Is that now? Is that version 2 pack?
Yeah, that's the second lot. They just added just as many again, but it's a bigger pack, and it's gone a lot cheaper as well.
Yeah, and obviously we've got the market stands, which are they're in a version 2 now as well.
Yeah.
And
actually,
we've got
version 4 from
version 4, is it?
Yeah, just little tinkering around with the design. But then I decided I'd rather than do them all in grey. Grey filament. I just didn't even know all different colours. So you don't have to paint them if you don't want to.
Now, Geoff I already got quite a few of Jumble Lane Printing kits, which from you, but you did leave me a considerable amount more to trial out, and it's a box full of them. And I was quite surprised, actually. I think you sneakily left a few more than I actually saw.
I think you ended up with all 4 monument kits, didn't you?
Sorry?
You ended up with all 4 monument kits.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to be showing them in a moment. But those are the market stall kits, double O gauge traditional market stall kits. Now, like I say, the original kit you did was in all grey, but you chose to change them to the coloured kit instead. What was your reason towards changing them to a different colour?
Well, it's just because I started off with grey filament, and I just started thinking to myself, well, I'll get different coloured filaments for different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I might as well just do these in the colour that I expect them to be.
Yeah.
But then you can still paint them if you want and do things with them.
I've just got one of them here. So that's one of them made up. Now, you actually, I didn't know you were going to do it, but you got me to build these to test the build structure out using, was it Deluxe Materials, Plastic Magic?
It's Plastic Magic. It's that. Whoa, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to admit, that's the first time I've ever used that product. And I was exceptionally impressed with the quality of the glue, the way it bonds, because obviously it melts the plastic together to create a bond.
With the filament printing, the 3D filament printing, it sort of melts it. So they end up sort of, the joints are welded more than anything else. Mm-hmm. It's a bit like the old Airfix kits where you've got the glue that actually dissolve the actual plastic just momentarily enough to, when you put the two parts together, they actually weld it together. So
if Flymo would like to do me a favour and post a link in for your website, that would be very good. It's jumblelamprinting.co.uk, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all these kits that Geoff is doing will all be featured on there and available to be purchased from yourself. But there's obviously all the other places. Do you know what? I haven't even said anything, and he's just literally just posted in your link for your channel as well. So great stuff. He's on the ball. He is Flymo. So yeah, the kits are not only available obviously directly from yourselves, but it's easier to speak directly with you if there's any specialist ways or any modifications may be required, maybe to some kits. Or if anyone, do you make kits specially for particular like bespoke kits as well? Because I know you do the bespoke vaccines, don't you?
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you take the open all hours, I had a chap got a contact me through, I think it was one of the website basically, and he said, "Have you got any shovels and spades and brushes and stuff that you'd find outside a hardware shop?" And I thought, no, but I could do some if you want. And then I did a few designs for him, sent him some pictures about him, and he says, "Oh, them are brilliant, them are." Yeah, he says, "Them are great." And I had this sort of all of a sudden brainwave of putting them on a sort of Metcalf kit of a shop, a hardware shop. So I'd got a corner shop, so I just changed the name to Open All Hours, and I posted it on the Facebook page of Metcalf, and it created a bit of a stink.
Yeah, I'm just obviously you left again. Look, this is Jet. Oh, I'll leave you a few of these. Yeah, he left me quite a considerable amount. So I'm just showing off that that's a wicker basket. I think that's the larger one of the wicker baskets there. There's the smaller one. So he left me with loads of things to
the good thing with those wicker baskets, they're actually textured like wicker.
That was something I mentioned, wasn't it?
I made them really, really big on the CAD program, and actually like had the weave of the basket, and then I shrunk it down, and it actually retained its sort of texture.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually see it. Probably not. Because it's that
the chap I don't know actually sent me some photos, and he was really
you can see the weave. I was quite surprised when I saw those. I was really surprised to like, wow, the detail in that is absolutely splendid. You really can see the weave of the wicker. I was stunned. Good evening to DRS68. Thank you very much for that very generous donation of $1.99, and welcome to tonight's stream. We've not seen you for a while, so it's great to have you here. Take care, mate. So yeah, that's absolutely superb, those. And I say those market stalls, it's going to be like a church fete that's going to be going on the scene, and we're going to have a lot of those the Open All Hours stuff on the market store. So I've got a lot of paint colouring of these products, painting them to be going on as they go on there. So yeah, it's absolutely superb stuff. Now, it's moving on to while I get to that in a moment. The pub benches and parasols. My face when we put them on the layout, it was just like, oh wow!
It finished it off.
made the scene just pop, even though there's no proper scenics as such, as in grasses and stuff like that. I was like, wow, that looks fantastic. Route 7 Railways, good evening to you. Thanks. And Gary Lester, TMD, thanks for joining us.
You can thank me dad for the closed parasols, because he turned around and he says, well, they're a good son. He says, but in some cases, somebody hasn't put the brolly up, so it's down. I said,
indeed.
Yeah, all right. So
yes, absolutely stunning kit. Those kits, I'll just find. I've got that many. I have to dig through these. Hang on a second. There's the rules. It's just, it's here somewhere. Where are they? That's the market stalls. Oh Christ, is that many? Is that them? No, that's not. Yeah, yes and no. That's the current set I've got open. I've got that many. Geoff, you left me so many. Aha, is that them? No, that's not them.
They're all at one end. I saw them.
Yeah. Well, that's the set that I'm currently using. And there you go. Picnic, pub and picnic table set of 2. That's a few that I've got left in there. So they come with... yeah, that's right, because there's 2 sets. There's 2 sets on there. There's a set with the parasols in, and there's a set without parasols. That's the tables that are parked up at the side behind the pub, if you remember. And these are the parasols that are remaining from it. Yeah, so these are absolutely superb. These, obviously, they are unpainted. But yeah, these are superb, Geoff.
Yeah, that's what's one of the cheapest kits. It's £3 those for 2 tables.
Really? Oh, excellent stuff. Again, thank DRS68. Thank you again for the very generous donation. Barnabas Junction are doing a horn salute tomorrow, 11 a.m. in respect of my dad as he passed away. It is his funeral. Oh, it's so sorry, but that is an absolute fantastic honour towards him, doing a horn salute. Well done, my friend. Whereabouts will you be doing that? Are you going to be down here at this neck of the woods doing that? Because it would be a great thing to hear, maybe in the distance somewhere. But good on you, mate, and all the best. Condolences to you and the family. But yeah, absolutely superb. Yeah, so the kits. Now, we did talk about a lot of kits that you do. Are there any particular favourites yourself that you've done of all your kits so far?
I don't know, because they all give me grief at one point, and they
give you grief
when it all sort of comes together. But I think one of the neatest ones I do is quite a simple one. That's the IBCs.
The IBCs, I'll dig them out.
There's 4 items. There's the pallet, a black pallet,
yeah,
a white tank, and then you got the grey cage. And then you've got a decal. We get 3 decals. You get two IBCs. You get 3 decals in case you mess one up. And basically, they just sit together really nicely.
Yeah.
You've got some of the very first version of the IBCs.
I have, yes. They're just over behind me, actually.
And they're nowhere near as nice as those. But again, you have to listen to what people say to you. And what happened was, I was talking to Chris Bauer of Westall Wagon Works, and he says, what you want to do is have the tank in white, so you can fit it inside.
Yeah.
It's a bit more authentic. And that gave me the idea of doing them all separate and putting them together.
Yeah, that's what you've got in there. It's pretty difficult to see with the light, with it being white on white. In fact, if I do that, there you go, you can see the white IBC tank that goes inside the cage. Again, DRS68, again, thank you very much for the very generous donation. It'll be at Kingsmore Depot. I know it won't be there as attending the... All right, okay, fantastic stuff. But yes, all the best. And give him a toot from me as well, a big DRS supporter. So yeah, oh, actually, I still need that. So the IBCs... probably one of your favourites then.
Yeah, one of the, I mean, I think it's the simple things really. It's I've got so many, but I do like the monuments. I think I'm pleased with those.
Yeah.
And I've basically got the monuments in O gauge and N gauge. The problem with the N gauge is that they're very small, very fragile, and I'm only going to be selling those at shows.
Right.
And I have only got limited amount made.
Now I've got actually
cost more to make than the double O gauge because there's a lot of waste on them.
Yeah.
When you're making them, and more fiddly, and they break apart easily, so you waste more.
Yeah. So this one here that out of your kits that have decided to use, which one is this?
Is it the Shirley or the Coventry?
Just looking at the ones, it must be the Coventry one.
Yeah, I think it's a Coventry.
In fact, I've got it. Why not? I stuck a banner in that. In fact, why don't I just do this?
Yeah.
I forgot I stuck that on there. Yeah, it's the Coventry one. So this is the Coventry War Memorial. Now, these also come with wreaths as well, don't they?
Yeah, you get packs of wreaths, which are actually on the supports. So you can paint I made them in grey. And then I hit on the idea because I've having to paint them green, then paint them red.
Yeah.
I decided that I'd print them using green resin. Well, it's a mixture of all sorts to make them green. And basically it's just easier to slap a bit of red on there. But some of the resins that I used made them quite brittle. So you've got to be really careful when you take them off the supports, especially the cross ones, because it's 3 styles.
Right. So I was just checking a message. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got the crossways. I've got that message. Thank you very much. So yeah, I chose this particular one because this is the smaller of the one of the 2 smaller ones that you've done, but I felt this was more fitting for this particular scene. Now I'll just flick back to my front camera, and I'll show the other ones that you do. Now these ones I've got are the double O gauge ones. Now you said you do these in O and N as well. Is that right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just nip and get the box with the.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is while you do so, I'll just show them off. So this is another one of the kits you do. This is the Gostry kit in double O gauge, and that is, I would say, more of a town centre memorial. It's quite a large spaced one, again with the cross on the top, and it comes with wreath packs as well. So that's the Gostry one. Have I pronounced it right? Gostry?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've also got the Shirley one, which is the other smaller one, and that is a square-based memorial with the small Celtic cross on the top. So that's the Shirley. Shirley can't be serious. And that again comes with the wreath pack. And again, we also have, and they say these are the double O gauge, and you do them in the alternative gauge. We have the Suffolk Memorial. Stop calling me Shirley. It's Limo. And again, this one though comes with a figure on the top, and there he is. He's actually got one there, all weathered up and in place. So that is this particular one.
That is the O gauge one.
Right. So this is the double O, but the one you're showing is the O gauge version,
and that is the N.
Wow. So absolutely superb. You can see the difference between N and O. There's huge difference, isn't it?
Yeah. And that is the O gauge version of the one that you've got there.
Sorry?
That's the O gauge version of the one you've got there.
Yeah. Ah, right. That's the O gauge version of the one that's on the layout, which I'll just grab. That's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Put it in front of my face for people. Yeah, I'll put it in front of my t-shirt. People can see it then. Wow. So you can see, and the great detail on these, it's superb. Even to the detail, and I never spotted it until Geoff told me that there's even, you won't be able to see it on this camera because it's that small, there's even a raised cross on the cross to be separately painted to stand out once it is done. As Simon's Train saying, the size don't count, it's how you use it on your layout. So totally correct. Yeah, because at the end of the day, even though I'm modeling in 00, I can still use O gauge products and N gauge product because you can create a sense of perspective using larger stuff up front and smaller stuff in the distance, if you know what I mean, or larger stuff in the distance, you know what I mean. But I've said on this corner country scene, I do plan to put some N gauge campers and fishermen that on the little lake area to give it that extra sense of depth. So just looking at the chat, just saying goodie, there's a few more dropped into the chat I haven't said good evening to. Just catching up with everybody. Les Gilpin's in. Good evening, Leslie. Thanks for dropping by. So now, oh, there we go. You can see the differences in the size of the same one. That's just incredible, the difference there. And obviously you got the wreath. That particular one, I feel is like very much like the cenotaph memorial that you'd get, like the one that's down in London. I do like that one a lot. It's very detailed, and it does include, if I remember rightly, there's you've got some text on them slightly saying
on that one is actually writing on that one, but that the Suffolk has actually got decals.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Difficult to see because they're that fine, that detail, because obviously you've got to go very minute, and that's even on a large scale. Good evening to Oswald Street Road TMD. Thanks for joining us this evening. Now, while we're here, you were showing me kit that you had in like trial production, and you wanted to get some ideas on it, and we actually came up with some interesting ideas, didn't we?
Yeah.
And yeah. I've got them. I say they're over there. You can see one of them just there on over that shoulder. But we did have a play about with this kit that you produced, and during that play about, you come up with some modifications to it before its final release. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch my camera to one that's on the layout, which is, you can just see just there. So I'm going to switch the camera, and Geoff is going to tell you a little bit about it. So there is the first attempt. And now what I'll do is I'm going to switch it to that view so we can get a better preview of its dimension. That is a footbridge. Now, this was playing around with the shorter section of footbridge, which is absolutely perfect for a single track line. So tell us a bit about these footbridges, Geoff.
Well, I was just playing around with designing something. Is that when I go to my parents' house, I cross the line which goes east of Worcester from north-south, south-north. And where I cross, just in the distance on the farmer's field, there's a footbridge. And it looks very much just like that, but it actually spans, well, it actually spans 3 rails, but it's like 2 lines, the up and down line, and there's like a service line at the side of it. And unlike many other bridges, there was no step in the steps, if you know what I mean. It didn't sort of come down, have a flat, and then go down again. Yeah. But when I looked on Google Maps, and I sent you the picture, Jace.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I noticed there was steps, a step in the steps. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like a flat bit.
a
But
halfway
you
point.
can't see it from the road when you're driving past, especially when you're actually driving and looking at the same time. So these got made, but also I was working on the sizing of it all and everything, and that is one of them, one of the sides.
Back in.
But there we are. Basically, what we've done now, we've made them. I've redone them now, so the bottom section of the side pieces is actually cut down, so they're not as high, because these were just too high, and we actually got your Dremel out, didn't we? We cut them, mutilated these,
mutilated,
just so we can sort of size them up and glue them together and see how they fit. Then you came up with a great idea that when you've got the two ends, which they are sort of opposites to each other.
Yeah.
As you notice, you've got an open side. He says, how about if you've got two open sides, so you can have it in the middle of a long piece?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, well, I'll try that. So I've put on the CAD as well, and I've done that. I've cut them down. But I've also made another set where you've got a step. So it comes down, goes across, and then comes down again. I haven't moved the position of the bottoms. It's just because I was just fiddling about and getting it. And I thought, well, I'll just leave them as they are, really. So they're all right. And then, there, as I say, you've got the long and the short footbridge parts. And you can see it is like a grid in the bottom. So they are see-through.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to be selling them as a modular kit. You can like pick and mix. You have, because you can have it so you can have them going down the same direction or opposite each other. So you come up the one side and then down the other side, just like that. So the side pieces, they will be purchased in one pack each. A middle piece in another pack, so that's 3 packs. Then you get a long piece and a short piece. So basically, your basic is made up of 5 packs.
Yeah.
And you just buy each part as you want to make up your kit. There is also I've got lots of these. I've got lots of them, but they're all in there.
So what you see there, I've just brought out you can now see where you get the single span track. And what we did, we had a fiddle about with the larger span of the footbridge, the actual footway, the walkway, adding in the steps that go up in a 3-stage. So it's 2 ends and a middle section with the cutouts to cross through. Obviously, we had to, like I say, mutilate one of them to make that because you hadn't produced it. But you've adapted the kit to be able to produce this larger footbridge. And I've got to admit, when that went on there and we put it together, we were both just stood there and we went, yeah, that looks good.
And also, if you just want to do one single long span by joining the longer spans together,
yeah,
have a separate.
Yeah, and I've got one of those here as well. So you've got the single span section as well. Obviously, that's not a mutilated piece; that's the original full size piece. So you get that as well.
Yeah, and there are these little tiny spiky things. Oh, you can't see it. It's just basically the ribbing, the ribs that come down. If you join two of these pieces together, then you can put that joint.
So that the ribbing, which is this is what I class as the ribbing.
Yeah.
So obviously at the end of each section, there's no rib. So when you want to join 2 pieces together, 2 straight pieces together, you need to add that ribbing before the next piece.
those will be in every single piece of the footbridge piece. So every time you buy one of those, you get one of those ribs as well. So
people saying in the chat, let's have a look at the chat. People saying, oh, hi, someone said, Andy's in, good evening to you, thanks for joining us. Main Train Mark, good evening, Mark, thanks for dropping by. What's people saying? Easy to put the bottom step in. Footbridge looks very great, very versatile. That's from Mike Pringle. Flymo, ramp down the other side, more for bigger stations, though handy for adding ramps too for wheelchairs and prams for a modern era. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Brian of Angel Shares saying, seriously, Geoff, your kits look really good. Some future purchases for sure from me.
And as far as Brian put about how much are they?
Yeah.
I haven't done any pricing, but I can't see them being very much at all big. Well, it all depends how big you want to make your steps, really, your footbridge, really. But each part will be sort of priced separately. Then you just mix them all together. But it will be quite good on price, I reckon.
Now these are obviously just finalising prototype.
Once I've got them printed, I know how much resin's used and everything else. I can finalise the price on them. And because it's not just the resin it uses; it wastes resin when you actually do it. So I need to know how much it's going to be using in full terms. But if you are going to the Worley meet in 2 weeks' time-ish, just over 2 weeks, all these parts, these prototype parts, will be available for anyone to have. And I will say free of charge, if they're not being silly by just grabbing everything. But I'll be asking people to drop some money in a box, and that money will go to the charities of the club. As with lots of a lot of the stuff I make, all the prototypes and everything else, and misprints will be available for people just to have. So they will just be available, and then people can just drop some money in a box, and that goes to the charity of the club.
Simon's asking that they look impressive. Is there a way that the ribbing on the back could be removed but keep the ribbon on the front? I don't see why that would be required, but I suppose it's adaptable.
You could, if you've got a Dremel, then you could just rub it down or sand it down.
Yeah, because it is very fine. You could sand it down before you do any painting or something. Yeah.
Or while you've got it, do you want to put the camera on single, Jason? And I can show.
Well, okay, just give me a second. Still trying to learn this. In fact, let me switch. I'll switch you over.
Yeah,
there you go.
If you can imagine, that sheet is being sandpaper, and that is your footbridge, and the side that you want to flatten.
Yeah,
just do that.
Just rub it off, rub it down, or if you got a very fine file, just slightly file it down, until it's nice and smooth. Mike Pringle says could customize and actually add wire handrails as well. Yeah, that's easily added. I can't get my words. Adaptation.
I mean, this is just purely prototype, and it was only in sort of design stage, and then we came up with some modifications, and I haven't even printed off the ones that we was going to do the modifications on.
Yeah.
So as far as handrail is concerned, the thing is that if you look at the scale of these, I don't think I've got a figure in here because this is in the print room.
Digger says they can be painted and weathered up very nice.
The thing is that these are probably can't even find me rule. I haven't.
Mike Pringle says he's looking forward to seeing them at Worley.
I can't even find me rule. I've got a rule somewhere.
And Gary is saying a nice twin footbridge to replace my one on my station. So there you go, Gary. Get in touch with Geoff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking if you put an OO gauge figure stood on there, is probably just below shoulder height, so probably would get away with a handrail. Maybe it's not waist height, so it's probably more like between the waist and the shoulders.
Yeah, just an interesting question there from Clive. Do you make jumper leads and boxes for a Class 86, 03 and 4 in double O?
No,
Not.
I was asked about this before for the 50s, because they're like hen's teeth, aren't they? And whoever suggested it to me, I did try, but with 3D printing, the resin is cured, and it can become very brittle.
Yeah,
it's either flexible and weak, and then breaks easy, and then it's either cured and then it goes very, very brittle and snaps easy. So it was just too much of a fiddly job. And I have tried, and I've somewhere got a box where I've got hundreds of little tiny pieces which I tried printing. I mean, they're not to the full proper shape and scale and everything else. It was just the process of making a box with like a wire. And the only thing I can think of is having some form of flexible thin tube which I can glue into each of the boxes. So you make the boxes, the plug boxes, and then have a flexible lead between the two.
Yeah.
But it is, you couldn't really put a price on them then, because there's so much hard work goes into assembling them. It will make them too expensive to buy. That's in my mind. 3D printing is not a very good method of mass production of cheap models. If the truth is known, you've got to find something that you can actually print lots of very quickly, very easily, with no interaction. Otherwise, it's like if I was to assemble all these kits and paint them, you'd be paying 10 times the price for them. Whereas
interesting question there from Mark of Main Train in Eastport. Any plans to make escalators?
There hasn't been, but it's a good idea.
Good idea, yeah. Or even travelators, because you get travelators as well. Travelators probably more in an airport or somewhere where, or
you do get into some really modern railway stations, especially like link stations, like you get your airport and railway station links, because it's like the walkway ones, right? The moving walkways, and they do.
That's right, yeah.
But escalators, yeah, I can see those. Can't see any reason. The only problem is that it really does depend on sizing. If I had to build an escalator, how many would I build or have to build to meet everybody's requirements?
Yeah.
We know that a footbridge has to clear the top of a loco, or a loco with a pantograph, for instance.
Yeah, actually, talking of that, just as you mentioned that, let me just switch back over to that.
Yours wouldn't. If you got a pantograph, yours wouldn't do it, because your 66 stripes through quite just nicely.
I have already preset this up, so let me just bring that camera to large screen. Just bear with me. Right, so I've already pre-planned this, because I was hoping you'd mention that, because it helps if we go in the right way. This is the clearance on this. Now, this is obviously this is during testing, and you can see there, you can't really see very well on the camera. In fact, if I take the camera off the tripod and just take that up close, so you can get an idea. So you can see there the clear, weight distribution. There, it gives you an idea of the clearance. So I'm glad you mentioned that. That's quite not a bad clearance, but that was set on 3-inch high between the top. I'll point as I'm talking actually. So I'll just move that back a moment. So from the base there to the top there, was that 3 inches? Let me just measure it.
I think you did it to the.
Yes, no, that's to the top, the flange of the actual top of the footbridge. Then
It's the top of the footbridge.
Yeah,
because the actual clearance is 3 3/4 inches, 95 mil.
Yeah,
to the underside of the footbridge on the original ones.
obviously this was this is just prototype testing demonstrations on this layout. I would say that Geoff will adapt it to be slightly higher. I think you mentioned 3 3/4 just then, so there will be like another 3/4 of an inch higher to allow for pantographs.
I haven't got a loco with pantographs. If someone's got, is it a 91 with a?
I have got a pantograph loco. Just bear with me.
If you measure the pantograph up from the
where is the I was trying to find a train. Hang on. Right. Let me just grab the 350. So let me put this on the track. It helps if it's on the rails. So I'll just move this camera back to there, move that out of the way. So this is the 350. As you can see, that's with the pantograph down. Okay, so if I pop the pantograph up without breaking it, these are very fragile. Look, like that, because it just lifts off. Let me just release it. There we go. And place that back on it. There we go. There, get in. Is it in? It's in. Right. So you can clearly see with a pantograph, you can see the difference in the height. Now that's fully extended, that pantograph. In reality, the pantograph will probably only be about there.
But how many people have pantographs up, but they don't have an actual line? They only have the pantograph up.
Yeah, there is a way of adapting it for more realism to make them there, but it just involves a staple, actually, would you believe it? Which just as a hook, just to keep it at its low level. It's realism low level. But yeah, if that was to clear that, you can see it would need its full height that it originally was before we mutilated it, just to fit the diesels on their own. Yeah, it is. I'll just get a nice side view, see if we can get that close up.
So maybe this has a clearance. The original ones have a clearance of 77 millimeters.
Okay, which is 76, you say?
3 inches, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that current actual clearance? Let me just measure that. The current clearance on that is 60. Sorry. Let me just do that again. It's about 65, 64. So yeah, slight difference. So the original ones could be a clearance for the pantographs, but for me, there was going to be no. It's a diesel depot, so not an electric depot. So I wouldn't be having any electric trains in there. So I'm hunky dory on that. Just having a look at chat. Charles McGowan, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Charlie McGowan, that is. Just looking at what people. Escalators would be a niche model for people modelling London Underground stations. Yeah, interesting fact.
Yeah.
Big travelators at Manchester. Yes, they are big travelators at Manchester Piccadilly, Geoff. We've actually been down ourselves.
Yeah.
Big, long travelators indeed.
Or if you want to model the inside of a Tesco as well, you've got
Simon's Trains. Oh, here he goes with his DB stuff. Nice to see the DB37 on display there, Jason. Yeah, it's in the depot awaiting respray. Just checking now. Just put concrete blocks under each pillar for the end. Yeah, that was something I was going to come to. Although that's obviously flat, straight based to the layout, I'll just bring it back onto full screen. If I just show people, pretty much the same as what I did with my green footbridge. If you look, try and get the camera in a good place. Underneath there, camera. There we go. Underneath it, you would put a concrete plinth because it wouldn't be generally just sat straight on the floor. So yeah, a concrete plinth underneath that would again raise it up a little bit more if needed be, which is probably what I will do with that. Just it will only move it up by 3 or 4 mil, but it'll be enough just to not make it look so close to the roof of the locomotives.
I think then, I won't cut these down because I haven't actually printed any yet. I think I'll keep them at that height because people can attack them with a Dremel and make them shorter if they want to, can't they?
Yeah, and another point actually that Gary's just pointed out, don't forget, guys, if the footbridge is to sit on a station platform, you've got the height of the platform as well on top of that particular size that's showing on there, which is averages, I think, 19 mil, 18 mil. So that
16.
might still be enough for a pantograph to go under that particular size. So yeah, maybe a production of a straight to the deck, straight to the ground level and a platform level, or you could just do the full size ones, and then if people want to trim them down, they can do.
Yeah.
Charlie's saying, plus you could also even add additional steps at the bottom to get from the concrete pad down to the grade. Indeed, yes, Charlie, you're quite correct.
Or I could produce a range of concrete plinths.
Yeah. Or maybe you could produce them, the footings, maybe with a block on the bottom of them.
Mm.
So they're not just that, actually the cage feet, I would say, straight to the floor. The possibilities on what you could produce are pretty much very, very large.
Endless.
Yeah, quite endless. So there we go. I'll bring the camera back to me now. I think it's that one. So it's time for our next shout out of the day, and I've been asked already to give this chap a shout out, and it was actually a personal message I'd sent quite some time ago, just after the first shout out, to give somebody a very big shout out, and I think he is quite right. So it is time for the next shout out. And next shout out is for, and this is what I've been asked by a viewer to give a shout out to DRS68, not only because he's done his very, very generous donations, but obviously for what he is doing tomorrow horn salute for his beloved family member, which is their funeral tomorrow. So a big shout out to DRS68 for all he's doing for tomorrow, and also a great channel supporter joining in with some very generous super chats. So huge shout out to DRS68. You are tonight's shout out number 2. I have going to be asking somebody very shortly for shout out number 3. Somebody's going to be asked to do the to make that shout out, and he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to. So be ready if you're get my gist. So yeah, moving on then, Geoff. Got any kits that you've not you've got in the pipeline that you're thinking of doing, not yet done yet?
Mobile phone masts.
Oh yes, mobile phone masts. Yes, that was something we had a bit of a chinwag about. Some basically utilizing some of the offcuts from your current kit builds, wasn't it?
Well, I've just actually redesigned it from scratch. I'm not using the offcut.
But it's possible. It's possible.
Well, yeah, I end up with loads and loads of bits of supports and you name it. In fact, I've got these little bits of plastic card, and I'm thinking, oh, handy to have a little tiny piece of plastic card for some reason. But that's because I've just cut out another kit of road markings.
Oh right, yes, the road markings. I saw them.
Basically, a couple of years ago, I brought out the car park road markings and bus stop and taxi rank markings for car parks and stuff, and disabled parking bays. I brought those out a couple of years ago, but out a card, and the card quickly, when it was painted with acrylic, became sort of soggy, and you can only use them once, maybe twice, if you let them dry out.
Yeah. So
I had this idea of using plastic card, and now you get 2 sheets. So you've got the parking spaces and the disabled parking spaces.
Yeah.
And the hatched area with a little blank spacing, so you can use the wording bus stop or buses only or taxis only or whatever. You've also got a bus stop. You've got white lines, zigzags for pedestrian crossings, arrows. If you want to, like, arrows in the car park showing where the exit or which way. And I'm selling those for a £5 for a pack with 2 in, and you can reuse them.
Yeah,
so that's
like you said,
that's been launched
before, but they're now plastic card. You said, so they're highly reusable.
Yeah, and I'm launching those at the meet. I've got, I think it's five sets of those, so they might go pretty quick.
Got a question here from Charlie. Have you been able to produce figures?
I haven't yet. I've actually, I was talking to somebody and he suggested that I use an Xbox Connect as a 3D scanner, because it is actually a 3D scanner camera. And Microsoft do this, the software, which is free. It's all beta. It isn't like a bought thing.
Yeah.
I've got the software on my computer. I've got the adapter to plug it into my computer. And I've got the Connect.
Mm-hmm.
I've got both the 360 and the one. And I haven't tried it yet, but I've got a subject who's willing to have herself 3D scanned. I haven't decided on doing figures. It just seems a lot of work. I have got a full-time job besides doing all this, and I come home at sort of just gone lunchtime after getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do my job, and I'm busy doing this sort of thing till about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm having sort of 4.5 hours sleep, if that. So I'm wearing myself out. I'm burning the candles at both ends, and you can see behind me these boxes are full of 3D kits.
Right. Yeah.
There's quite a bit of stock, and I've been busily producing those for when the show starts. So we had great news this morning about lockdown being lifted in a fortnight's time. So that is brilliant news. Hopefully the shows will start again, and I can start selling this. And there's things happening at work as well where I might be reduced down to 3 days. And if that happens, I should be making sure that I should be producing at such a level then it can sustain the second half of my full-time job.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 part-time jobs.
Now, you mentioned, obviously, events starting to take place. There's going to be, fingers crossed, plenty for us all to finally flock to in the distant future. First one, obviously, for us, coming up is the MRYCG and Worley members meet on the 31st of July, which is looking very, very, very good so far. And you just said you'll be having a selection of products with you, won't you?
I have all my products with me.
Oh, right.
I'm going to take everything. I won't be doing any T-shirt printing there, although I'll take orders.
Yeah.
The same with anything printed wise, because it's in mugs. I will have some of the mugs that are pre-printed, and again, they were selling for £5 at the Worley show at the NEC. They will be free. And when I say free, I'll be asking you to make a donation to the charities, the club charities. So,
right. So there you go. That even I didn't know about that.
There's probably 15 or 20 mugs. So it's first come, first serves, and they've only got things on like, like different sort of logos. So it's just there for ones that I'd already got in stock, and I just want to clear them out and just get rid of them. But I will be taking orders. So I've got do mugs and mouse mats and everything else. But you talk about the events that are on. Saturday the 28th of August, you've got the Bourneville Model Rail Exhibition and Trading Show at the Austin Club in Tessel Lane, Northfield, Birmingham.
Yes.
And that's on the 28th of August. I do believe it's 10 till 4. I haven't got all the times and details with me. So,
yeah, I'm hoping myself to get the opportunity to bob on down to that myself.
I will be going to that. So,
yeah. So you've heard it first here. Geoff is going to be at the MRYCG and Worley members meet at the Worley Club, and he's going to have a selection of items available free with a small donation towards the charities which we will be supporting throughout the.
There'll be a box, and I'll just be inviting people just to drop some money in there. Right? I mean, I'm giving stuff away, basically, and as I give it away, I'm going to get nothing for it, but I'd like somebody to benefit from it. So take what you want, but I don't want people to be greedy and take everything. But you're just welcome to take what you want, and also there is an offer as well.
And saying that, there is also a selection of the maps, the map packs, MRYCG products. There's going to be this is Geoff probably doesn't know about this because I've just made this decision. I've got a few here of my own. These are I believe these are the 2020 prints. Just having a check. Yeah, I think they are yes, they are the 2020 prints. So if anyone wants to get their hands on some of these MRYCG maps, layout maps, these are the 2020 edition. 2021 edition has not yet been sorted out or released. If you are on these and you want to get your hands on a set of these, I've got here myself, I've got some A4, and I need to hold these up. So I've got some A4, so they're A4, and I've got some A3s as well. So you get sizes. There'll be a few of these also knocking about, all available for you if you want to grab yourself a pack of these for a small donation towards the charities that will be taking place. So like I say, these will be available at Jumble Lane Printing. I'll make sure I bring these ones with me, Geoff. So yeah.
And also, if anybody does want to buy anything at my store, there'll be an offer. You buy 4 items, you get the 5th one free.
Let's just bring that up. There you go. So special offer at the MRYCG Worley meet. Buy 4 kits from Jumble Lane Printing. That'll be one of the stalls that will be at the meet. You get a 5th kit for free, and that'll be
the cheapest one you get free. Yeah, obviously,
lowest price kit will be free.
But if they're all the same price, then you get a maximum of a 20% discount.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's looking forward to an absolutely amazing day. If you want to be part of the MRYCG Worley members meet, it's free to get into this meet. All you have to do is be one of 2 things: be a member of the Worley Model Railway Club, as in join as a member, a yearly member, or, which I think is from as little as £1.70 a month, or you can be a member of MRYCG, which is free. You have to join the MRYCG Facebook group. So check out the MRYCG Facebook group, join the group, and then bob along on the 31st of July to the members meet at the Worley Club in Oldbury, and just show yourself as a member of MRYCG Facebook group, and you can get into that event for completely for free. Excellent stuff. And obviously, if you join the Facebook group, full details of that event are on there in the event page, and there will be a further update coming this Friday on what else is going to be going on at that event. So those of you who are going to the meet are here on this chat. Look out for Facebook Friday this Friday for more details on what's going on at the members meet. We've got some big surprises lined up for you. Simon's Train saying, I shall be attending the Worley meet at the end of July. Yay! Excellent stuff. Thank you, Flymo. He's posting the Worley website in there, and I'm sure he'll also post a Facebook group. Just looking through the chat. James Galton, good evening or afternoon, morning, or wherever you might be. I think he's in Ontario, Canada. Thanks for dropping in. Gary's had to get off. It's got to be up at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much, Gary, for joining us. And also Leslie Gilpin's got to head off too. Nice discussion and demo. Thank you very much for joining us. Flymo says, I found a program called 7-Zip that opens the RAR documents. Windows is sniffy about it though, but it will open the RAR files to PDF files. It's only one way though. I do know, Flymo, if you're having some problems with RAR files or PDFs to RAR, blah, blah, I'll have a chat with you over the next couple of days. I've got the perfect free bit of software which will sort you out. Flymo, Finlayson saying ban football. Italy has just scored. Oh, that was expected. Excellent stuff. Yeah, that's the semi that's going on, the semi-final. So, Geoff, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you very much for talking about the kits. Thank you obviously very much for dropping by. I've got absolutely tons of stuff to be going on with and to be talking about on future YouTube Tuesdays. Plenty of gravestones. One other thing, actually. We've got these as well, haven't we? Now, these are called
the Gower Plated Bridge.
Or I've nicknamed them the Gower Girders.
Yeah.
the Gower girder set. And yes, Peter, if you are here, these are a set of your requested design for your girder set. These are really good, and I will be featuring these on the layout now after Geoff has shown me some of the samples. This is being an actual sample of, because these come in 2 pieces. I've just grabbed some actually. I've got some here. These are unproduced, so they're not that one. I've got a lot of the offcuts as well. Yeah, that's the one. So these come in a pack of 2 pieces, which blend together. Actually, I've got them upside down. I've just realised. So they come together. You just have to file off a little bit of feathering on them on each side. And they sit together like so. That's actually.
That's what I do now.
Yeah. And that is what you end up with. Have I got it the right? Is that the right way up?
That's the
I know
right
you
way.
did tell me.
Yeah, that's the right way up then.
Wrong way. That way up?
No,
that's the right way up.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. So yeah, I'm going to be using these on the river bridge. We had a bit of a chat about them, and I think they look stunning. In fact, what I'm going to do is if I can reach over with this side camera and show you what, I'll just change my camera. Just quickly, that one there. Is it changed? Yep. Let me just bring that full screen. There we go. So I'm just stretching the camera as far as you can look. So there you go. That's the idea of these girders. They will actually attach to that strip perfectly and will look fantastic when this is properly built up. But we're a long way off that just as of yet. But yes, thank you very much, Geoff. Those are great. The Gower girders available at Jumble Lane Printing now. So I'll just reposition that, and obviously other kits as well. You've got the market stands, you've got the memorials, you've got the pub beer garden tables and parasols open and closed, and not forgetting the fantastic grave kits. Let me just tighten that up so I can actually let go of it for sending you all flying. So there are numerous different gravestones available, tombstones, angel stones with hearts. You've got the ones with the pegs. They're the ones I did originally. You've got, there's just so many. Please go check out Jumble Lane Printing. Celtic cross with angel on there. Superb these are, and I will be looking at getting these on to this properly in place very soon. But obviously I'm now making my attention over to the pub scene with them fantastic tables. So thank you very much, Geoff.
No problem.
For joining me. Thank you very much for telling us a lot about the kits and where we can next find you to get that people get their hands on these kits. Oh, wrong camera. Helps if I actually click the right camera, doesn't it? It's that one. Obviously, those were the footbridges as well. So again, thank you very much, Geoff, for joining us, telling us all about it. Again, you can get in touch with Geoff either by social media, via MRYCG, directly is on Jumble Lane Printing and Jumble Lane Model Railway, and also jumblelaneprinting.co.uk, the website where these kits are available. Also, the kits are available via West Hill Wagon Works Limited as well, their website too, which is westhillwagonworks.co.uk. Actually, I've just seen some questions pop up. Actually, let me just have a look. Geoff, do you do dry stone walls? That's from Brian at Finniston Central.
No, but again, it's something I can think about and do. I mean, there are. I don't really do lots of what there already is lots of, if you know what I mean. Because you're just going into competition straight away. whereas I tend to do something that is sort of unique or just designed and thought of by myself. But if anybody wants anything, then I'll have a go at making it, and if they're happy with it, then I'll sell it to them.
Yeah.
And if it seems like a good easy thing to make, and I can do it and make some money out of it, then I surely will, and I shall make it a kit, which is how a lot of these things came about.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted something, so I decided to make it, and then it became a kit or a pack, and then it became on sale.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you again. Thank you very much for joining me. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. If not before the 31st, we'll definitely be seeing you the 31st at the meet.
Yeah.
As yourself, as Geoff Readman, and also of Jumble Line Printing.
Yeah.
And also as a Wally member as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, a Wally member.
Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Right. So thank you very much, Geoff. I'll say my goodbyes to you. And just so you know, check out the private chat and then get back to me in the chat. Thank you very much, Geoff. We'll see you very soon. Take care.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
Big thanks then to Geoff for joining us. Loads of kits then from Geoff. As you've seen, there's just a small selection of them here on the layout that I've shown you tonight. You've seen the footbridges that are in prototype production. You've seen the picnic sets, which are to help with the pub scene, which is what we're working on. You've seen the market stands. You've seen the gravestones. You've seen the monuments in the middle. I have to thank Geoff for so many kits here. Look out for some of these kits. You may be able to get your hands on some of these kits very soon, but definitely you'll be able to get your hands on some if you're at the Wally MRYCG members meet at the 31st of July. I'll just give you a rundown on some of these kits here. We've got shopping, double gauge supermarket shopping trolleys, super detailed IBCs, solar panels. That was one we didn't talk. That's not the solar panels. That's the IBCs. New kit is doing solar panels as well for your layout. You've got freestanding ones and also ones that you can mount on buildings. Garden hot tubs, which is the older set. Post boxes, which I definitely will be fitting on here. Oil drums for your TMDs and things like that. Detailed platform clocks, which are electronic as well. That's another product that he does. Trampoline, platform access steps, steel mesh fencing, table and chair set. Oh, the list, the memorials, 4 of the different styles. Oh, right, the skips. I forgot to mention the skips as well. He's doing skips as well that come with some on backs of trucks. You can get them, and they come with some labeling as well. It's just fell over, you can't see it. But all these kits, he says he will have with him. Yes, there's the market store kits, which you can see over on there. These are really, really easy to put together. Just phenomenal, the amount of kits he has available. So if you want to get your hands on, check out jumblelaneprinting.co.uk or come and join us at the Wally meet at the end of this month, the MRYCG and Wally meet. Right, so I have asked, and he's not responded yet. He's gone off. If Geoff would like to message, I think he's PM'd me actually. I did ask Geoff to choose the third shout out for tonight, but he's not responded yet. The clocks, it's quite a list of items he had to code or get a 3D AutoCAD going. Just actually looking at the chat. Let's have a look at the chat. People are talking. Got them upside down. Doing a garage, Jason. Sorry, Peter. Finneton, I like that, Jason. He says, Geoff, do you do dry stone walls? Yeah, we come to that. Well, from small acorn grows great oak trees. Yes, indeed, they do. Fantastic flammer on the ball there. So, Geoff says, hold on. Ooh, hold on. But don't forget, we have got Modeller's Moment yet to come. So we're coming up to an hour and a half of the show, so I need to speed things on. I'm just going to give you an update. Obviously, this was initially going to be a moving on with the village scene. I had a chat with Geoff in regards to this printed fencing, and he's given me some great ideas on how to adapt this to put the gateway in. So I was going to hopefully do that tonight, but we'll definitely do it next week. And I'm going to be shortening this a little bit as well. But I really need to get on now and start doing all the base scenics for the pub. Hopefully by next week, you will see a big change, and we'll do some painting of these Jumble Lane kits as well. I had some messages last week from, I can't remember who it was now, about, I think it was CSX Wrensville actually, about the gravel for the area round the monument. I'm just going to take you back to that camera because I want to just mention something to you in regards to it. So now we've got the memorial in the middle, which is approximately going there. What I want to do is put a bit of chain linking around the edge, and that is something that I'm going to work on because I need to do that so then I can put the gravel down. Now I'm thinking about putting a lighter beige of gravel on there instead of the same gravel I've used for the path of the church. So I'm looking at what I can do with maybe something that I've already got, or something I can get my hands on as soon as possible. I have got some stuff, but it may be possible with the stuff I've got to change the color of it. So hopefully we can get on with that. Question I would like to ask is the front of the pub, should that be grassed, or should I use a bit of a bark chippings, or should I keep that also gravel with maybe slabbing up to the front? Remember, we're going to be asking for the name for the pub. Slane's Lodge will be coming off there. That is not going to be the name of the pub. So look out in the next couple of weeks where I'm going to be asking you guys to name this pub. So if you've got a name, I will be asking you to get in touch with me with that name. More details will probably be announced next week about that, on why I want a name. So make sure you're here next week on that. So yeah, just double check on that. It needs to be someone in chat. So we're just awaiting on the final shout out for tonight. Just have a quick drink, and then we will get on with Modeler's Moment. Now, just quickly, that's the Mark 1 market stall. And if we could just look at Mark 2, there's Mark 2. You can see the difference. You've got the original grey, and then you've got the coloured one. That I will have to say that the coloured one is absolutely splendid. Use T for loose chipping. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So feel free, if you've got any ideas on things to do around this pub, please let me know. If you obviously you don't get the opportunity, let me know here in the chat. If you're watching this later on, please let me know in the comments below the video afterwards. Just one thing I did do, and this was while Geoff, I just had to play about with painting the roofs. And as you can see, it's got candy stripes on that. It's not picking it with it being white. Come on. See the candy stripes? I did have a play about that. Was just using a pen, use some masking tape, modeling masking tape, and just did use pen to give them some candy stripes as a trial. So that's something I may be doing. You can see the pen marks there on it. So that's what I've been having a play about with. It doesn't look too bad. Once they're actually down, it looks actually quite good. In fact, let me just rotate that camera. There you go. So I had to go with the candy stripes on it, using just a permanent marker, that was. Right, so I've had the request for the third and final shout out. So let me do this. Bring you back to me. There we go, guys. So you're back on here. So Geoff has now given me shout out number 3. So shout out number 3 tonight, given by Geoff Readman of Jumble Lane Printing. He has given the shout out to go to Finnerton Central Model Railway. Brian, you are the third shout out for today, and you have been chosen by Geoff of Jumble Lane Printing. Brian has had shout outs before, but remember, shout outs are for anybody in the chat. They are completely random. And it has to be somebody who's in the live chat. So Geoff has chosen Finnerton Central as the third shout out for tonight. So congratulations, Brian, for the shout out. He's been doing some really interesting work. I say we have had him before, so many of you may have already subscribed to his channel. Please check him out. He's just almost got the first level of his layout complete. He's about 2/3, 3/4 of the first level of his layout with his fiddle yard. Check it out. He's just recently done a layout update showing you where he is up to with it. So make sure when you do go check out a channel, when you click subscribe, you must interact with the channel. Go on to their latest video, comment on it with any comments is yours. But best one to comment is saying you heard about it here on the Barnabas Junction's YouTube Tuesday shout outs. And when you do, click that bell next to the subscribe and change it from the middle one to the top one. Select all to make sure you receive all notifications of any video, any channel that you do subscribe to. So there you go. That's the 3 shout outs. So Brian says it's 2/3 complete. So not far, 2/3 to 3/4 complete on the first level. Some interesting facts that he's been issuing as well along the way with his layout. Some very interesting cheap alternatives to building a model railway. Interesting stuff. So right, so final thing then for tonight is obviously it's Modeler's Moment. So Modeler's Moment this week, it's only a short one. It comes courtesy of a great layout with some fun, a fantastic scratch building and a lot of steam. Please welcome Buckland Junction. This is all he's done is he's just sent me 3 photographs of his layout. That was a little bit blurred, but look at the scenery. This guy does a lot of scratch building. He does embankments. He does the walling. I do like the wall in the back of that picture. You can see it's got a slight slope to it. That is scratch built. And I do like the Ferodo sign as well. Very, very old school that is. And yeah, a lot of scratch building on this layout. Please do check out Buckland Junction. So thank you very much for Buckland Junction for sending me those few pictures. We'll run those again for you because there is only 3. He did only send the 3. Did ask him for a few more, but he didn't get back to me. So yeah, Buckland Junction is tonight's Modeler's Moment. So just having a look at the chat. Everyone's saying great stuff. So yeah, that is this week's Modeler's Moment. Thank you very much, Buckland Junction. So if you want to be featured on Modeler's Moment, then please do get in touch with me, barnabasjunction@gmail.com. And you could be featuring each week or one of the weeks as the specialist modeler's moment. Just a few photographs of your layout, and I'll do the rest. Maybe even include a couple of short video clips that we can show the audience here and get some interest in your layout. Remember, it doesn't necessarily have to be a layout that features on social media. Maybe you've got a model railway, you don't show it on social media, but I'm giving you the opportunity to get your layout, your modeling featured here on the YouTube Tuesdays Modelers Moment. So please do get in touch with me, barnabasjunction@gmail.com. Right, so that's about wraps it up for tonight. Thank you very much for everybody for joining me this evening. Obviously, big thank you for Geoff for dropping by and telling us a lot about the kits that he's got, and also got coming up the footbridges, the kits that are here, the gravestones, the picnic sets, and a vast array of other kits, and also where you can get your hands on them. Excuse me. Oh, that's the Coke. Again, huge thank you to everybody for joining me this evening. Hope I've not bored you too much. We will be getting on with the village scene for sure over the next few weeks. Definitely we'll be getting on with it after today. And again, thank you for joining me. Good luck to England tomorrow with the semi-final, and hopefully we'll be seeing them back for the final on Sunday. So until next time, everyone, take care, stay safe. I look forward to seeing you out and about very soon at exhibitions, because they're coming. Indeed, they are. So take care, stay safe, and everybody, remember the most important thing, keep on modeling. Take care. Ta-ra from me. Till next time.